friends, we're happy to welcome you at the final day of the presentation of MYP personal projects. Today, students of 9C are going to present the result of the whole year's work, talk about the wonderful world of cinema and fashion, tell us about the telecom channels, and even show the life of band manager. Actually, what is our nomination today?
Today, the one who demonstrates the mastery of oratory skills will win the title of Most Communicative Student of International Gymnasium Skolkovo. Iman, which phrase do you think would best describe our nomination today?
I really like the words of American author James Humes. The art of communication is the language of leadership.
Wow, that was insightful. Well, today we have 13 leaders who will present their unique projects. And please welcome our most competent jury.
Natalia Ivanovna Kuzivanova, Head of Foreign Languages Department. Valeria Zhurinskaya, Head of the Department in Psychological Support Service and High School Psychologist. She has been with us since the very beginning of presentation.
Ildar Nikmezyanov, MYP Digital Design Teacher, and of course, our students, Ekaterina Tkacheva and Vladimir Matsnev, who had successfully gone through personal projects and managed to stay alive.
Thank you for volunteering in this event. So, Plato, who will be the brave one to hold the opening talk?
Let us introduce the young filmmaker and perhaps the future star of our cinematography.
How promising. Let's invite Anna Orlova with her personal project about short film.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm so happy to finally present you my personal project that is called the creation of a short film including the stages of pre-production, production, and post-production. My name is Anya Orlova, and my supervisor is Ksenia Vячеславовна Vesnikova. Before I started thinking about what do I want to do as my personal project, I started thinking about my interests and what interests me. I think a lot of 8th graders understand that they don't know what they want to do in their future. So do I. I don't know either. When I was 10 years old, I wanted to become an actor. When I was 11 years old, I wanted to become a scriptwriter because I started writing stories and poems. When I was 13, I thought that I can even make films based on my scripts. And now I want to become a doctor. So you see, life changes and plans changing. But I ask myself a question: how can I learn the stages of filmmaking and understand the director's tasks in the frames of the personal project? So I decided to make a short film based on the script that I wrote by my own. And the short film is based on the story that I wrote in the 7th grade, and the book that inspired me so much to write my story was The Scarecrow or Chuchula by Vladimir Zheleznikov. It impressed me so much that I even wrote my story in the 7th grade. It is about betrayal, it is about love, it is about bullying. But you can't make a short film based on a story. You should reformate the story into the script. And I did it. It is the old presentation. Doesn't matter, I can do it. So this is the script, and you see how many times I wrote it. I have wrote it 5 or 6 times, and each time I didn't understand what is wrong, because Stanislav Eduardovich said, no, it's not okay, you need to redo it. And that's how I understood that the pre-production is a very big part of filmmaking, and you need to do it confidently, and you need to do it very, it is the base of the film. After I wrote the script, I started thinking how my film will look like in the future. So I described the success criteria. The main is function, like I want my film to be understandable and clear for the audience. Then appearance, everyone wants their film look attractive. So I thought that the short film should be made in a good quality and with a good sound. And it should be in one style that suits the plot. The next success criteria is very interesting because it is about actors. I organized the casting where I invited 8th graders and they were reading the parts from the script, and then I called them, like the director, and after the individual casting, I made the ensemble casting to see how actors look with each other. Time, it is the main feature of every short film. The film should last 15-20 minutes. If it's not a short film. If it's more, it's like not short film. And the last success criteria that is not successful yet, it is showing my personal project right here in the ensemble hall. And I'm really happy to finally announce that on the week after the holidays, I will show my short film. This is the table from the report, and I want to pay your attention on the testing method. I showed my film to the filming crew and to the cast team, and they did a short survey, and by the results of this survey, I understood were my criteria successful or not. This is my plan for achieving the product. I think the plan, it is the base for every short film. Without plan, I couldn't make it. And I had 3 parts of making a film, 3 stages of filmmaking. It is the pre-production, production, and post-production. And for each part of making the film, I did its own little plan. Some dates went wrong. Like I wanted to film my short film in November, but I did it in January. But still, with this plan, I understood what do I have to do in the future and what have I done. My first ADL skill that I developed was critical thinking. I did the director's journal, where I analyzed and wrote the insights and challenges of the directors in their biography. For example, I watched the film called QT8. It's about the Quentin Tarantino. And the advice that I really remember is that the director worked with the whole cast, and each member of the cast understood the idea of the film, and that's how it worked. If somebody from the filming crew doesn't understand what is this film about, it wouldn't be successful. The second ATL skill that I developed was thinking and transferring. You remember how many versions of the script did I have? And I analyzed all this version of the script and understood which one is the most successful. That's it. And this is the table. But my personal goal that I set for myself was to convey the idea of my film to the audience. I wanted my film be interesting, and I wanted people think after watching my film about the problem that is described here. So this is my personal goal. What did I learn since I started the personal project? Of course, I learned the stages of filmmaking. I learned how the pre-production, production, and post-production. I was a script writer, I was an actor, and I did a montage. It was really cool, and I would like to repeat it. I liked doing my project. It is very interesting for me. But the most thing that I'm proud of is gathering a team and to work with them, because all guys that I gathered, they were very interested in my project, and they did everything they could to help me, and I feel that they are very cool. They are. And I want to thank Ksenia Vyacheslawna for being the best supervisor, for supporting me every time when I had problems. I want to thank Stanislav Eduardovich and Pavel Medvedev for being with us and share their experience of filmmaking. I want to thank Anna Andreevna because she helped me with the report. But, you know, the film, it is more art than report, but Anna Andreevna helped me to connect these two things. And also I want to thank the filming crew of Bежать, especially Natasha Kosolobova, because she helped us in a very critical situation. That's all that I wanted to say. Thank you so much. You can ask me questions on both languages. I will answer.
Good morning. Anya, you said that your personal goal was to make people think.
Yeah.
Do you think you achieved that goal, and how? Give at least one example.
I showed my film to my family and my best friend and my grandparents, and every person made his own, I think, made his own vivid conclusion. And it was very interesting to see how people see the same plot in different ways. But everyone, I think, made their own conclusions and thought after watching my film. I think I did it. But also, I will show my film in the school, and we will have the question-answer session, where guys from the audience will ask me questions, or they will answer my questions. That's how I'm going to imagine it.
Except at first, you're great, your project is great, and your speeches were very cool. So, except sharing like your project with the guys, as you said, after the holidays, are you planning to share it like in school with a link, or in some social medias, or like in a school like?
Yes, it is. I want to continue working on this project. I want to send it to the festivals of short films, and I hope that it will win something. And maybe I will post it on YouTube, but I need to speak with my supervisor. Is it right to post it in there?
Thank you.
Anya, creation a film is an interesting journey, I would say,
Yes.
which includes different stages. Which stage was the most enjoyable for you personally, and why?
For me personally, I have always wanted to be an actor in my life, and I really love this job, I would say. So I think production was the most interesting because we worked as a team. We didn't have lessons, so we worked very much for a long time, and we organized it, and I felt calm when we did it all, because the post-production doesn't really have the, I would say, deadlines, because you can make it in your own speed. And the production, you need to film it in a short time to actors still understand their idea of the film.
Thank you. The last question about the research. You told us about writing a script and how many times you have rewritten it. You have to rewrite it. How did you learn how to write a script? What research have you done?
I had an interview with Stanislav Eduardovich. He's the cinema director, and he studied for this job. And every Wednesday I came to his classroom, and we were talking about how to write the script, how to edit it, and that's why I had so much versions, because every time I wrote it, there were some mistakes or things that I can change. So my research is interview. Thank you.
Iman, what do you think?
I think it was amazing. We as your MCs today would like to wish Anna success in her undertakings. Who knows, maybe someday we'll see her on par with Christopher Nolan and Steven Spielberg.
To continue our tremendous event, we would like to welcome a bilingual girl who knows Italian like her native and is also the pride of all Armenians. Margot Sarkisyan, please take the stage.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Margot. My supervisor is Alicia Alexandrovna, and I'm here to present you my MYP personal project, which is about creating a conceptual photo album with scrapbooking elements about multiculturalism in Moscow. Its name is Moscow International, and here's why. To begin with, in the start of the personal project, of course, I set two goals. One is learning goal, which is to learn how to make a scrapbook so it would reflect me, my city, and cultures as much as possible. And the second one is a product goal, which is to create a photo album with scrapbook elements about cultures in Moscow, what you can get introduced to via food, architecture, and people. Of course, both of the goals are tightly connected with my personal interest. Firstly, with summer, I saw a video of a conceptual album, and I got inspired to make one because I thought that it's a really cool idea. Secondly, I'm being raised in an international family where my mom's side is Armenian, my dad's side is Jewish. And since my childhood, I've been culturally educated. Everyone always told me that cultures have those traditions, and those cultures, they eat with food. And I was always curious about people's nations and their cultures. Then here are my success criteria. I divided them into two groups. One is qualitative criteria to evaluate the content side of the project. And for them, I have concept, which is about the concept you only live once. You can see my product. It's on the table. The concept criteria is for that pictures didn't have to be remade twice. It was only for the once. Aesthetics is for the quality of pictures. I wanted to make them high quality, so my product will be accurate. And the third one is handwritten text, because in my opinion, your handwriting reflects who you are, and I just wanted with product to reflect me. The second group is quantitative criteria. Therefore, they're objective and they're independent. I have quantity of places. I wanted to make from 10 to 14 because I'll tell you on the next slide. Then I had pictures. Actually, I wanted to make them about 40, but I don't know the total number of pictures because I cut some of them I just threw them away. And quantity of pages, it's about 20 to 30 because I wanted my album to be beautiful but not so long. And of course, to achieve my product, I had two plans. One is long-term plan. Long-term plan is where you can see my project since October till now, and the second one is short-term plan. It was for the period of time when I had to visit all the places and take all the pictures before the February holidays to just manage to print the pictures. Here you can see the process of creating album, both when I was just cutting out the pictures, when I was taking out pictures with my pretty pink camera. And I just really loved making it because it was creative and I used a lot of skills to do that. So here you can see two skills I struggled the most with. One is creative thinking. All my life, I could never generate an idea fast. And I knew that for my product, I have to generate ideas really fast. And I improved my skill by completing tasks, for example, from this book. I can give an example where there was a drawing and I had to finish it to improve my creative thinking. Second task is I've been struggling with procrastinating all my life. I've doing every task on the last second, and I just knew that I had to do something with it, so I got myself a planner where I write down every task I need, even if it's like I need to buy a bread. And thanks to those, I created my product. Here you can see just some of my most favorite pages from two restaurants. And here you can see an introduction with a part which is culture shock and architecture. Yeah. And I want to thank you, first of all, Alicia Alexandrovna, for always being with me, for supporting my ideas and making me not to give up. I want to thank Anna Andreevna, who always navigated me, and Alicia Alexandrovna, and helped us writing the report. I want to thank my friends who went out with me and who waited for me to take pictures of their food. It was really nice of yours. And I want to thank my parents who created the idea of little me on the cover of my product. Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I haven't seen your photo album yet, and I'm just looking forward to it. Margot, do you agree that doing a personal project is kind of self-development? And if you agree, please prove it.
Yes, I do agree, because in the start of the personal project, I was really inspired. I got a few ideas for the project, and when I started doing that, I had too many tasks at the same moment. I had to prepare myself for the exams. I had to be active in school life. I had to do the personal project, and it all pressed me so much that I just started hating the idea of making a product. I always was demotivated, and at the moment when I left for Italy for like a month, even more, and I had to visit all the places for my product, I was super stressed because I just didn't know how to manage. But now when I look back, when I was writing the reflection for the report, I just feel so proud of myself. I know that it wasn't just a waste of time. I feel I'm a new person because I feel responsible for everything I did. I follow the deadlines, I follow the criteria, and I just have new priorities when I'm making a project or just any task.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Any questions?
So I can see that you wrote all of your pages by hand. So did you have to actually remake any of those pages?
Yeah, it was the thing I thought when I just bought this album, and everything I wrote there, it was written with a white pen. And you cannot use anything to just erase it, but so I was writing text with a pencil, but then I just understood that it doesn't look pretty when you write with a pen on it. So I just decided to write with a clear time and just only once thing. I didn't focus on rewriting something. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that just looks ideal. I can't say anything about that. Anything else?
Thank you.
Give it up for Margot. She really deserved those applause. Yeah. So, Platze, do you know Armenian?
Not really, but it is not a problem now that Danya Suslov has created a Telegram bot that will find you a tutor at any moment. Danya, you are most welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Danya and I want to tell you about my personal project, Telegram bot for finding a tutor. I often had a problem with not understanding some subject, and one day I thought about how good it would be to find someone who is well versed in the topic and can help me. It is inconvenient and unnecessary to ask for help from everyone in a row, so I thought about creating an aggregator to search for those who can help a student who has not figured out the topic. On the slide, you can read my thoughts in the correct wording. If we talk about my personal interest in the project, then this is my desire to help those who in the future will face the problem that I had, as well as learn how to make useful resources to solve some important problems. I spoke about the purpose of my products in excerpts earlier. The goal is to create a product that will help students find help in studying the material among the students of our school. Also, in order to later access how successfully I have made an aggregator, namely a Telegram bot, I have identified several criteria by which my product will be personally evaluated by me. These criteria you can observe behind my back. In order to create a bot, I had to study what ways it could be done. I had a little practice writing bots, so I used HTML to create it. I also need to study in which academic areas students have problems. For this, I interviewed some students of lower grades, and based on their answers, decided on which subjects students need help. After delving into the topic, I started creating a product, the final result of which you can see on the board, and also test if you click on the tag of my bot in the Telegram. Excuse me, can you turn the video? Throughout the creation and writing of a personal project, I was haunted by the problem of lack of time, as I needed to prepare for exams, study at school, and work with tutors. In the end, I realized that, in principle, my project could have been done before the end of November. It will also be my advice for anyone who plans to do a project in the future. Writing a report on a personal project gave me a lot of practice in writing text in English. I also think I have gotten better at completing tasks and meeting deadlines, of course, outside of a personal project. Finally, I want to say a big thank you to my supervisor. Without her, I definitely would not have coped with such a heavy burden as a personal project. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm ready to answer your question in Russian.
Danya, I think you can answer in English, by the way.
Не хочется.
What do you think is the best achievement, your personal achievement in doing this project?
Для меня было изначально очень сложно вообще взяться за проект, потому что мне казалось, что это будет очень долго. В итоге я подошел к созданию проекта довольно поздно и немножко не успевал по дедлайнам. Но в конце я понял то, что, оказывается, это все не так страшно, и, в принципе, мне не стоит бояться раньше времени, если я не разберусь в теме.
Дань, спасибо за презентацию. У меня вопрос. Правильно понимаю, что бот сейчас работает, и в нашей гимназии ребята находят себе тьютера?
Я еще не проверял, как это будет работать на самом деле. У меня было пару людей, которые протестировали бота. К сожалению, это не финальная моя презентация. Я попросил там прикрепить, но не получилось. У меня была ссылка на бота. Если кто-то подойдет, могу дать ссылку на бота, чтобы он попробовал, как он работает.
Здорово. Мне кажется, это очень нужная вещь нам в гимназии и классная разработка, идея. Спасибо.
Спасибо большое.
Даня, спасибо за презентацию. А не подскажешь, что ты использовал, чтобы создать бота? Какие инструменты ты применял?
Я писал код на HTML. Также я использовал агрегатор для создания ботов. Я сейчас не помню название, если вы подойдете ко мне позже, я уточню. По-моему, называется robotext.ai, если я не ошибаюсь.
Хорошо, спасибо, я понял тебя.
Спасибо большое.
Даня, это был новый язык программирования для тебя?
Я немножко занимался созданием ботов в летней школе, также с моим супервайзером. Еще до того, как я узнал, о чем я буду делать проект, просто у нас была тема в летней школе по поводу создания телеграм-ботов. И это был не совсем новый опыт для меня, но я очень сильно углубился для того, чтобы создать такого бота.
Спасибо.
Все, спасибо.
Now I know where to look for a math tutor. You know, math is not my cup of tea.
I think you will enjoy our next project a lot more than your math homework, man.
Really? What's it about?
One creative student assembled a whole set of stylish looks for school. Meet Angelika Diwanyan with her formal school clothes lookbook.
Hi. Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Angelica. I'm a student from 9C grade. And my supervisor is Lyudmila Gennadievna Zaitseva. And the topic of my MYP project is making a formal school clothes lookbook. So, I would like to start with the fact that I've always been a fashionista since my childhood. And I've always loved clothes. My mom always dressed me up for every occasion when I was little. Even if we went for a short walk in a park or I played on a playground, we always chose the dress or the outfit I was going to wear. So obviously it caused my biggest passion in fashion and clothing. It is one of my biggest interests in life. Now I collect fashion magazines, I watch fashion shows and books and etc. Also, as a kid, I loved doing something artish with my hands, like I loved painting, I went to an art school, and I loved doing ceramics. I adored doing these little albums filled with my paintings. So this year, I decided, why not step on a new level with my interest? That's exactly why I connected my biggest interest in life with my personal project. Here is my personal interest. I already told you about it, and a learning goal. My final product was going to be a lookbook. Every time someone asks me, "Hey Lika, what's your personal project?" I'm like, I'm doing a lookbook, and I see a misunderstanding in everyone's eyes. Nobody knows what a lookbook is, so I'm going to explain to you. Lookbook is a so-called fashion album, films filled with some looks and inspiration for people. Usually famous designers do a lookbook, but I'm not a designer, I'm just a schoolgirl, so that doesn't matter. My final product was going to be a lookbook filled with information of a history of school uniforms in our country, timeless classic in fashion, and my own opinion about school uniforms in our country. The success criteria, I'm going to tell you about it right now. But also a really important fact that I wrote a small article in my lookbook, and you can see it on the first pages. It's not many people can realize that the way they're dressed can really affect how they feel about themselves. And in school, I dedicated my lookbook to a formal style because I'm doing my project for school. So I did a classic style lookbook. And the formal clothes can really make you feel put together, but it doesn't have to be boring. Many people think that it's just a white top, like black skirt, a blazer, and go to school. But it can be really pretty. You can feel yourself in formal clothes, but at the same time, you can feel confident and even smart. That works for me. So let's see my lookbook. I know. How can I do it like? Here's my success criteria. I told you about the content just now. The design, the main, like, can we all please agree that design is the most important part? Nobody interests what is inside. Everyone wants to look like, oh my God, it's a pretty book. Like, I want to look at it. So I wanted to be pretty outside, so everyone wanted to look inside. Format, it's square shape and a hardcover, the pink one, it's my favorite color. As a customer, I considered the students and maybe administration and the teachers if they're interested in my project. And the deadline, my goal was to make a lookbook before the 1st of March. A function of my project is like for readers to maybe get out new information from a lookbook. If you are not really into fashion, maybe get into it and just find inspiration from the last pages. Resources, I used fashion magazines, social media, actually everything. Communication, that's the important part because I consulted with a language teacher for how good is my text, and like with the best supervisor who is also a designer, and she helped me to design a lookbook, and that's it. So here is my plan. It's pretty simple. First, I explored styles. After, I did a lookbook, and after, I just printed it. Here you can see. What is this? ATL skills that help me. I'm sorry. ATL skills, and it's pretty simple. Really many factors, many ATL creative skills help me because my project is creative, and I really had to generate many ideas to make it happen. So I used my brain and my creation part of my brain. Also, a really important part, I'm a left-handed person. That means I'm creative one, I hope. So here you can see ATL skills that help me. Challenges. The biggest challenge in my life is time pressure, and MYP is not an exception. It was really hard to me to stick to the graphic and the deadline, but I made it. I'm not finished. Thank you for your attention. I'm finished. I'm sorry, I have a feeling that I forgot some really important, so if you have many questions, I'm really happy to answer them. In Russian and in English.
Я буду на русском говорить, думаю, так приятней.
Спасибо.
Во-первых, очень клевый у тебя каталог, но вопрос, по каким вообще параметрам ты подбирала одежду? Ну, то есть вот у тебя там собраны определенные луки, это все формальная школьная форма. Но по каким, ну, типа, какие ты прям сразу отметала? То есть там слишком открытые, слишком, я не знаю, цветные, какая-то цветовая гамма, может, у тебя была? У тебя были какие-то прям такие основные пункты, по которым ты подбирала одежду? Или просто, ну, вот это нравится, это я положу.
Ну, знаете, это тоже была моя... Я к вам на вы буду. Моя большая проблема, то, что я... Ну, сначала, да, я сначала сортировала, вот мне это нравится, а вот то-то мне это не нравится. А потом я показала лукбук моей маме и моему папе, а они как бы мои модные эталоны, знаете. Поэтому они сказали: Лика, слишком открыто, слишком ярко. Поэтому я поставила себе рамки, и изначально, как вы видели, я рассказывала про советскую форму. Там все чистый лист, все одинаковые. Я двигалась от этого. Потом я двигалась к тому, как в современном обществе одеваются в лучших заведениях мира, например, Гарвард или Принстон и так далее. У них тоже одна форма, но включены какие-то цвета. А потом моя цель была совместить классический стиль и индивидуальность. Поэтому я скорее опиралась больше на юбки, пиджаки, майки, но более приближенные к такому деловому формату, но цветами я особо не ограничилась. Просто я люблю нейтральные цвета, поэтому я подобрала нейтральные оттенки.
Хорошо, и второй вопрос сразу задам. В общем, я знаю, что типография сама по себе — это очень муторное, сложное дело. Вообще, кто тебе помогал с этим совсем типографским делом?
Ну, я создала сначала на компьютере электронный формат, то есть я создала обложку, развороты. У меня была электронная форма,
Ну а потом, если мы будем честными, я отправила это секретарю моего папы, он это распечатал. Круто. Спасибо. Но я с ним ездила.
Анжелик, скажи, пожалуйста, ты собираешься как-то дальше развивать этот проект, нести в массы свое видение, там, я не знаю, в гимназии здесь, как бы рассказывать о том, как ты видишь не форму, а да, ну, как бы дресс-код, который может быть в гимназии, или нет?
Знаете, это одно из моих главных хобби по жизни. И мне кажется, если я это свяжу со школой, это со временем перестанет быть моим хобби. Это будет очень грустно, если я потеряю интерес к моде. Но я не думаю, что такое случится. Но, знаете, я все-таки считаю, что я не настолько продвинутая в этом. Я опираюсь на свой вкус. Я не думаю, что я достаточно важный человек, чтобы диктовать людям, как им одеваться. Я просто предложила в своем луке, как вас вдохновить, но я в дальнейшем не собираюсь продвигать эту идею. Я собираюсь это оставить в прошлом, 9 класса.
Поняла, спасибо.
Анжелика, ты представила свое личное видение?
А почему вы все на русском задаете? Извините, пожалуйста, я на английском могу.
Because you asked us. Okay.
I can answer.
You presented your own vision of
Yes.
school look. Why didn't you ask and did the survey ask many students in our school to find out about their opinions about that?
If I'm being fully honest, I'm a new student this year, and I needed to choose a topic of my personal project in September. And actually, at first, I had it in my plan to do a survey among the students. But after, I thought, I was too shy, you know? I was like, oh my God, I'm a new student. I'm not ready. What if someone thinks that I'm weird student that only wears like blazers and skirts?
If you have done that, you would have developed communication skills.
Yes, thank you. Bye, thank you.
Lika, what a nice lookbook. I really liked it. Though I didn't want to implicate it in school, I still love those elegant looks and hope to see them someday in school.
You know, I'm not very much into your girly stuff. What real men need are the latest updates on sports. Welcome on stage, Vanya Chernyshev with his first news channel.
Hello, my name is Ivan, and now I want to speak about my personal project, Telegram channel with information about football. Why I picked this theme of the project? Because I loved football. I start do the sport at 8 years old, and I want to be a professional player in this sport. About my goals. Learning goal, I need to know how I can work with a big count of information. And about project goal, create a Telegram channel with information about football and pick correct material and post it. About my success criteria, I need to, this channel will be created in the future because now it's not very good. I need to upgrade it. This channel will be in demand and most people will rate this positively. ATL skills. For learning goal, I need self-management and organization skills, and for project goal, communication and communication skills. Results, I think I did all very good, and And it's all. Please, if you have any questions, ask it in Russian.
Ваня, у тебя есть ссылка на телеграм-канал?
Да, есть, но в данный момент он такой сыроватый, я хотел бы его доработать и потом уже распространять его.
То есть ты собираешься развивать его дальше?
Да, я его создал, но пока не было своего времени, потому что основное время я уделял отчетам.
Поняла.
Расскажи, пожалуйста, поподробнее, как ты его создавал, какое ты исследование проводил в этом плане?
Да, и получается, насчет исследований я выбрал 3 одних самых хороших, по моему мнению, телеграм-канала с подобной темой, специально отсортировал материал, который имеется в них, примерно осознавал, какой нужно, какой не нужно для, в принципе, пользователей, потому что есть информация, которую знают все, и есть та, которая будет достаточно интересна для пользователей, для моей аудитории.
Ваня, что было самое сложное в персональном проекте?
Отчеты.
Vanya, thank you for so much for an insight in sports.
If someone plays football, this means someone arranges football matches and other events. Let's listen to a story about a day from life of event manager. Katerina, welcome on stage.
Hello everyone, my name is Kate and I decided to try on a role of an event manager. First of all, I've learned detailed information about the occupation of an event manager. Now I know that the key function of an event manager is organization the event from invitation to fireworks. I understood that this occupation is quite challenging because you are in a different situation every moment. And I had new experience as event manager. Let's imagine that I need to arrange the New Year quiz for third graders. How can every event manager should give positive emotion to his customers? How can I cheer up and interest third graders? Will it be presentation New Year in the different countries or quiz guess New Year song? No, I will create my own New Year's quiz. So now I'm going to describe one ordinary day of my life from my first experience. To prepare the presentation, I have to use my research skills. I search the internet and brainstorm with my coach and my directors. I write the most interesting questions in my presentation. In order to make my event dynamic, I make 3 rounds. There is nothing left to do. My communicative skills help to organize teamwork. I make understandable rules for comfortable play, make papers for random assignments for random teams, and start with a friendly attitude. To keep the atmosphere among the kids friendly, I buy candies for all the participants and a box of gingerbread for the possible winners. Everyone gets certificates from me. But in addition to communicative and research skills, event manager must have strong organizational skills. I divide the event into parts, and then minute by minute, I describe my event, limiting myself to 40 minutes. Each activity is limited not only by time, but also by budget, so I have to plan expenses. To make the event enjoyable for the participants, I have to develop not only interesting program, but also provide a comfortable environment. And I've actually arranged this event. Please take a look. All participants were happy. and I was happy too, like any person who has done his job well. Let's analyze. My event met all my criteria. As almost experienced event manager, I can give you the advice. Firstly, start with simple events with few participants. Secondly, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Finally, I wish you good luck becoming an event manager. How has my project changed me? I became more communicative because I needed to interview a lot of people. Risky because I didn't know the reaction of the children and I was not sure in my success. Reflective because every event manager have to analyze his job to improve the next one. I want to thank my coach Sergei Zaitsev, my directors who are my parents, and my supervisor Permякова Anna Andreevna. So if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer.
Катя, как было заметно по фотографиям, мероприятие проходило не в нашей школе. Где оно проходило? Где ты его проводила?
Мой брат учится в 3 классе в другой школе, и я, как заботливая сестра, решила его порадовать. Ну, не только его порадовать, но его в том числе на Новый год.
А почему не в нашей школе ты решила провести, а именно у брата?
Потому что я люблю своего брата.
Спасибо.
Катя, как ты пришла к этой идее event-менеджер?
Это описано в моем отчете. Летом во-первых, мы не учились, у нас не было школьных предметов. И мы разговаривали с папой, чем мне вообще заниматься в будущем, как мне работать, с кем мне быть. И он мне начал рассказывать про мероприятия, которые у них происходят, корпоративы, показал сайт своего знакомого, с которым я встречалась, это владелец ивент-агентства, и я решила, что это будет интересный опыт. Спасибо.
Experience on how to arrange an event with us. And now, what is the best place for living? Skolkovo or Nekrasovka? Let's ask Vasilisa. She has done a project on this. Vasilisa Guryanova, please take the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vasilisa. I'm the student of 9th grade C class, and today I want to present for you my personal project, which call it Geological Features of Quality of Life in the City of Moscow on the example of 2 districts, Skolkovo and Nekrasovka, on one booklet. And my supervisor was Alexander Alexandrovich Lobzhenidze. The question of study was how different are districts of Moscow, because we know that Moscow is a big place and have many other areas. And the learning goal was the study of districts of Moscow, Skolkovo and Nekrasovka. My personal interest appeared even when I went to practice with students of Gubkin University. This been in this summer. Then I came to Nekrasovka for the first time, and I was surprised that in Moscow you can find such different places. Of course, I did not stop at one visit to Nekrasovka. I visited 3 times to explore all the places. This is my product. This is a booklet that have information about two areas, Kolkova and Nekrasovka. All photos I do myself, and I took information that I find in internet and ладно. I developed the booklet on Canva and put it in our gymnasium. Product success criteria. Perform the planned product, complete with all points. Study how environmentally friendly and acceptable the area is for life. A booklet consists of its definition. Design my own style booklet. With product success criteria, I have a problem only with quality of booklet. There are cracks in the place when the booklet folded, and it's not look very good. ATL skills. During the project, I analyzed and received information. I took risk driving in Nekrasovka because it's criminal place. Reflected the information received about the districts, and I talked to people about both areas to know what they think about these places. Now the answer for questions. What did I learn since I started the personal project? I realized that it's very difficult to me with work with large project, but I hope that that this will change and I do more project. What advice would I give to someone that's starting personal project? Be patient. That is very important to big project. It's if you paint it, you will do really good. What I'm most proud of achieving through the personal project, that I did not leave the project halfway. What would I do different if I started again? I would work harder on rappers, because rappers is most important part of project. How was your project change as a student? I've become more serious about everything. Thanks for your attention. Also, I want to express my gratitude to my supervisor, Alexander Slobzhenidze, class teacher, and my parents, and to my friend, Angelina. Thank you. Можете, пожалуйста, вопросы на русском задавать?
Хорошо, на русском так на русском. У меня такой вопрос. И Сколково, и Некрасовка — это районы все-таки новой Москвы. А не думал ли ты сравнить эти районы с каким-нибудь похожим районом, но в пределах МКАДа, например, с Люблино?
Ну, честно, я об этом не думала, потому что Люблино я не посещала, и сама идея проекта пришла ко мне случайно, когда я ездила на практику со студентами Губкинского университета. Вот. И я решила брать Некрасовку, потому что еще я в ней потерялась, и я увидела очень много интересных мест, и подумала, да, это то, что мне нужно.
Ну, конечно, не обязательно Люблино, просто какой-нибудь похожий район в Старой Москве.
Ну, можно было бы взять, но Сколково — это же тоже новый район. Если бы я брала бы старый, то было бы все намного очевиднее.
Василиса, спасибо за презентацию. Вопрос по поводу вот этого буклета. Замечательно, что мы имеем продукт, вот можем посмотреть его. Цель была создать буклет.
Да.
Какое ты исследование проводила по поводу буклета? Как создаются буклеты, из чего они состоят, структура, организация текста?
Да, я смотрела определение буклетов. Есть же разные буклеты в 2 прогиба, в 4, в 5. Я решила то, что будет интереснее всего сделать в 2 прогиба, чтобы разделить информацию на 2 части. Также я искала места, чтобы распечатать, но, к сожалению, я не уложилась по времени, но спасибо большое Людмиле Геннадьевне за то, что она мне предоставила возможность распечатать буклет в нашей гимназии.
А для кого это буклет? Какая твоя целевая аудитория?
Я думаю, скорее всего, для людей, которые переезжают из страны, из другой страны, потому что все же бывают ситуации в жизни, когда приходится экстренно куда-то переезжать и выбирать район для того, чтобы в нем жить. И если у тебя нету района какого-то на примете, где бы ты хотел жить, то я думаю, мой буклет может понадобиться для
Где
выбора.
они могут его увидеть?
Ну, можно разместить его на каком-нибудь сайте или в агентствах по продаже домов, квартир. Вот. Все.
Thank you, Vasilisa, for the valuable facts about these two districts. Plato, have you ever thought of joining a football league?
I have no idea how to join it.
In this case, you must definitely join Andrei's Telegram channel.
Let's invite Andrei Belarus to learn more about it.
Hello everybody, thanks for coming today. This is my personal project. My personal project is a video about football basics and skills. My supervisor is David Signer. Why I chose this topic? Because football is the most popular sport in the world. And I also love this sport, and I want to teach those who want to connect their lives with football. My goals for my project. I have two goals for my project. There are learning and product goal. My learning goal is how can I organize training for those who want to become a football player. And my product goal is YouTube channel about football basics and skills, create a YouTube channel. So in this screen, you can see my product success criteria. So I have, my product has many success criteria. The first is appearance. My product itself will be presented as a YouTube channel, which will have channel art and video design. The second is product manufacturing time. I plan to have the project finished by the end of November and mid-December deadline. And the third is area. The product will be presented on the YouTube platform, but information about the video and links will be in the Telegram channel. So this is my calendar. With this calendar, I planned all the stages of my project that helped me to achieve a positive result. And I also have distributed of the responsibilities for my project the entire academic year. This screen you can see all my stages in this school year. So agile skills. I have agile skills for my project and for my learning goal. My self-management, it is for my product goal, I used self-management skills. In order to shoot the material I needed for my videos, I made arrangements for filming, thought out plan for creating my videos, planned the shooting time. For learning goal, I used communication skills. In order to convey the necessary information to the audience, I need to know the material I need. I did a little research to explore the way to convey the information through the video. And on the right side, you can see my little research. This research plan was very useful for me because here I have selected all the necessary key points for creating my final project, and I often refer to plan during the creation of my project. I also highlight the disadvantages of these videos for myself that is helping me to create better videos and stand out. So after all this hard work, I learned many useful things such as video editing. I was able to simplify the material in my videos as much as possible. I was able to achieve all the goals that I set in the beginning of the project, and I believe that I coped with my task and fulfilled everything that was required of me. So, in this slide, you can see my product. In the left side, this is my YouTube channel, and in the right side, this is my Telegram channel. If you are interested in my project, you can scan QR code and watch my videos and my Telegram channel. That's all I wanted to say about my project. Thanks for your attention.
Андрей, спасибо большое за презентацию. Можно по-русски с тобой поговорить?
Okay.
Очень четкое изложение материала, все было понятно, то, как ты двигался по проекту. И у тебя в плане было написано, что завершаешь ты в мае. Что тебе еще осталось сделать? Поделись, пожалуйста.
Maybe I will have a conclusion of my project. It will be my results, how I achieve this positive result, maybe advices for my future projects, and I think it will be useful for me in the future to have a conclusion about this project.
Have you posted your YouTube channel? Does it work now?
Yeah, I posted my first video in the YouTube channel, and wrote a link in the Telegram channel.
And how many people have watched it already?
I posted my video yesterday, and maybe after this personal projects event, maybe people will be watch my videos.
Why do you think people might love your channel?
Because I think they can like football, and when they like football, people will like watching my videos, because I will teach basics and skills in the football, and who like football, it will be useful for his future career.
Thank you very much. It was impressive. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all.
Andrei, bravo, that was a really informative presentation.
Actually, we have more projects dedicated to Telegram. Welcome on stage, Artur Fedorov, and tell us about a channel focused on psychology.
А как это переключать? Все, спасибо. Hello, everyone. I want to tell you about my personal project, creating a broadcasting channel dedicated to queries on psychological matters. My supervisor is Ksenia Alexandrovna Tsalon. She is a teacher of the Russian language and literature. So, about my learning goal, I wanted to learn about psychology more. So, in order to learn about psychology, I read philosophical literature, and I created a broadcasting channel on Telegram dedicated to psychology, dedicated to psychological aid to teenagers. As a child who grew up in a big family, I was always fascinated with the ways how human character may present himself in a different ways, and I always wanted to know why and how does human express their things and emotions. About my product, I wanted to make a channel where teenagers can gain help. So I made a survey through whole school, and here you can see the most popular questions that teenagers ask themselves. For example, как определиться с будущим? And on my broadcasting channel, you can see some answers, maybe advices. Maybe it would help you. For my product to be successful, it needs to be, I have three main product success criteria. Number one is performance, interface, and content. The channel has to be functional, easy to manipulate, and it must be helpful to people. ATL skills. In order to better understand the walkways of the human mind, I will carry out online research on the vast field of psychology. It's about research skills. About thinking skills, in order to create a functional broadcasting channel, I must gather key information on what my target audience is expecting to learn using my product. I'm planning to learn this through a survey. And in conclusion, I want to say thank you for my supervisor. Unfortunately, she's not here, but she helped me with oh, I see you. Sorry. I want to thank you for help with survey, with information, and with the whole project. Bam. Any questions, maybe?
Artur, thank you for your presentation. Are you going to develop your project? Are you going to, I don't know, find more followers on your channel or something like this?
Можно повторить, пожалуйста?
Я могу по-русски, хочешь?
Давайте.
Ты собираешься как-то продвигать свой канал, ну, там, не знаю, искать новых подписчиков, или это просто, ну, вот сделал проект и закончил с психологией?
Ну да, этот проект был создан для помощи людям. Он был очень, если можно так сказать, пропиарен по всей школе. Я развешивал вот тот QR-код на опрос, точнее, чтобы понять, какие вопросы сейчас более актуальны. И теперь, получив эти вопросы, я начну развешивать QR-коды на этот телеграм-канал, чтобы студенты могли получить ответы на интересующие их вопросы и проводить все больше опросов, чтобы дать ответ на большее количество вопросов или проблем.
А получал какой-то фидбэк, например, от тех, кто прочитал уже твои статьи?
Пока никто их не прочитал. То есть я презентовал свой продукт только сейчас.
То есть ты только, ну, набираешь подписчиков. Хорошо, спасибо.
Artur, thank you very much for your presentation. And I would like to say that I'm very much surprised by the topic you have chosen. Can you explain again why you have chosen this topic? Is it your main interest in life?
My desire to better understand my own character increased as I grew older. I started to notice some things that other people didn't notice, like why do some people think like that or in a different way. So I was always fascinated with the human mind. And when I started to read philosophical literature, my interest increased.
Can you give at least one example of philosophical book that impressed you and you read it?
For example, may I say in Russian? Эрих Фром «Анатомия человеческой деструктивности». жесткая книга. Все? Все. Reading philosophical literature was most inspiring and the most hard in making this project, because during making this product, the broadcasting channel, I have read so many books that now I feel. А на русском можно ответить? Вот самым сложным и самым вдохновляющим было это повышать свою психологическую эрудицию. Я читал очень много книг там по своим поискам, по рекомендациям супервайзера. И с самого начала учебного года, как я начал читать, мне кажется, я стал больше понимать некоторые аспекты в жизни человека. Все? Всем здоровья, не болейте.
Wow, did you notice that today projects on Telegram channels are at the top of the chart?
Well, you can't help noticing that. So let's make some change from the Telegram boom and go back to filmmaking. There is another young talent emerging in this sphere.
Give your hands to Vaida Kuleshova and her project about documentary. Please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kuleshova Varvara, and this year, as my personal project, I was shooting a documentary film about people who turned their creativity into profession. So, first, I want to point out my learning goal. As I wanted to make a documentary film, I had to learn how to transmit different types of information from people, from heroes of my film to target audience using special tools of documentary cinema. And first, I had to learn what are these tools. And you may wonder why I decided to make a documentary film. Actually, I always wanted to take an interview because I was interested how it is from inside, and film by Jan Arthurs Berthner called Woman inspired me on this. I really like the format, even the topic is very different. I wanted to do something in the same form. And also, I had a lot of questions to be answered by heroes of my film. So from that, my product goal comes. I wanted to make a documentary film in format of an interview consisting of 7 stories of 7 different heroes who came from creative professions as composer or keramist and many, many others. And my target audience was people of my age who haven't decided on their profession yet, and I wanted to show them that they're actually creative professions too, about we don't talk a lot at school. And now I want to highlight my product success criteria. For my film, it was very important to have a good quality of sound, video, and dubbing. They should no way affect on how people understand my film. My film should be understandable for everyone. It should be thought-provoking. And I wanted it to be available online so everyone can watch it anytime they want. And also, I wanted to send it to a festival to get some advice from professionals. Moving on to my plan, it consists of four main phases. It was planning, research, taking action, and reflection. And actually, the plan that I made in September was very different from the real one because when I started working, I couldn't imagine how long dubbing and research will take me. And now I want to focus your attention on my research. I used information literacy skill for it, and I had a question. What are the unique characteristics of documentary film as a way of transmitting information? And I had many resources as documentary films, articles, and I took an interview with an active documentalist. And from that, I was able to have some insights, and I used them when making my own film. And when I started working on my film, when we got shoots and then I was dubbing it, I understand that it was very challenging for me, starting from that I never used montage programs, I never used video camera, the lights, the microphones, so I learned everything at first time, and only thinking in a critical way helped me to learn doing this. So here is my product, and I'm ready to present it. There is a QR code to a YouTube where you can watch it anytime you want. I actually showed it at school 6 times, twice in assembly hall, and my real audience was 6th graders, 7th graders, students from 8th, 9th, and 10th grades. And I received a lot of feedback. And actually, my pride is that it was seen by more than 130 viewers. I'm not really sure in numbers because I don't know how many people watched it online. And I received positive and honest feedback, and actually I received hate from 6th graders, and that showed me that maybe they were too young to watching it. And what did I learn? Actually, I understood that research is very important when doing any kind of product, and my research helped me to understand which tools I should use to make my own film and for it to be impressive. I learned being flexible and setting priorities when planning a huge amount of work, and I understood that I can achieve any goal. And if there are any 8th graders in the assembly hall left, I want to give some small advice. First, choose the topic you truly love, and it will be so much easier for you. Then, be realistic and set realistic goals, because that is very important, and never give up. And actually, now I understand that my project changed me a lot. It became easier for me to communicate with people. I now easier meet new people in my life. I became a more risk taker and more flexible, and dubbing period helped me to be a little bit less self-criticizing. And now I want to thank all of those who were here with me, especially Ksenia Vyacheslavna Mesnikova, for her support and not letting me give up. Anna Andreevna Permikova for helping me with my report, all of my friends and family, and especially the only member of my film crew, Anna Orlova. And now I'm ready to answer your questions.
Varias, thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. And it's really good when actually we can see your product, and immediately I can see that there are 70 followers, 70 people who watched the film already.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. My question is, what was more challenging, creating a film as a technical thing, or finding and interviewing people?
Actually, interviewing people was my favorite part because now, I was communicating with them, and I saw that all of my research, all of my work was done on purpose, and I used all the information I got to interview them. So I think it was a bit easier for me because I've done everything before. And when planning and doing my research and preparing for interviews was very difficult because I was afraid that there is no purpose why I'm doing that. I thought like, oh my God, maybe I will never see these people, they will not answer my questions. And I was like afraid and not sure, but when I met them, it was a relief for me.
Varya, thank you for your presentation. It was so beautiful. Can you tell which kind of instrument you use to create such beautiful presentation? Maybe someone helped you to choose style.
I made my presentation based on the style of my film Afisha. I decided to make it like handwritten to show that it is kind of a creative project. And I decided to do the same thing in my presentation to show that you can be creative anywhere, and also here standing in a serious way.
Thank you very much.
Varya, thank you. That was so talented. It looks like a lot of work.
I agree, it must have been so time-consuming, but it's definitely worth it. Great job, Varya.
Our next project is associated with creativity too. Angelina Rezinkova has chosen to develop her self-expression through creating mythological paintings of mythological creatures.
Angelina, the stage is yours.
Hi everyone. My name is Angelina and my supervisor is Mrs. Pandarashvili. Today I'm presenting my personal project, which is called Creating Paintings of Mythical Creatures as a way to develop self-knowledge and self-expression. Firstly, I would like to share my personal interest. Since childhood, I've loved to draw, and in kindergarten, my drawings were sent to local competitions, and at home the walls were like decorated with my creations. When I was 6 years old, I started individual art courses, but I had to leave due to some reasons. Later, my mother requested drawing lessons with her artist friend, and we drew together for about a year. When I started school, unfortunately, drawing took a back seat, and I only practiced a couple of times a week in my art lessons, which wasn't enough, and my interest in drawing began to fade. However, this summer, while thinking about a personal project, I decided to take a chance and revive my interest in painting. Through this project, I will be able to renew my skills and enjoy creating a work of art. So that's why my learning goal is to learn to draw on a canvas by acrylic paint. To achieve my learning goal, I plan to draw pictures of mythical creatures. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to draw 2 pictures as I planned. Originally, I wanted to draw portraits of Zeus and Poseidon, but due to missed deadlines, I realized that I wouldn't have enough time to paint both pictures. Thus, I decided to focus all my attention on one portrait of Zeus. To make my product more successful, I need to create success criteria. And the first one is appearance. I want my picture to be medium-sized. It's 30 on 40. Regarding the colors, I want the painting to be dark and gloomy, which is why I will mix colors to get 30 shades, and I completed this creation. The second one is the third one, but okay, is delivery. Unfortunately, I failed to meet this creation mostly because of my laziness. Ideally, I wanted to start painting during the November holidays, then continue working on it every weekend and vacation if it's possible. However, I kept procrastinating and now I regret it. The fifth one is quantity. I planned to draw 2 pictures, but I didn't manage to do this, as I said earlier. The fourth one is resources. I have 2 groups of resources. Material, which includes all equipment like brushes, canvases, and paints, and immaterial, which includes the artist who helped me and tutored me throughout the process. And the second one, but fifth one, is budget. I set a limit of 10,000 to make my project more challenging. I spent only 7,000 on the purchase of material for drawing, and the artist agreed to help me for free, so it's complete. Regarding my plan of action, I have 2 plans. The first one was for drawing 2 pictures, but as I mentioned earlier, I only drew 1 due to my laziness and missed deadlines. Thus, most of the plan fell through, and I highlighted it in red. The second, shorter plan includes only 2 steps, sketch drawing and full drawing. The skills I chose are research, media literacy, and social collaboration. I developed my research skill by comparing and choosing the most suitable equipment for drawing. And I developed my social skill by talking with a professional artist. Well, this is my product. It's a portrait of Zeus in dark colors, as I planned. I used black, white, brown, shades of gray, and a little beige. You can see this on screen and in front of you. Well, reflection. What advice would I give to someone starting the personal project? Well, based on my past experiences, I would suggest that you stick to your plan. Some people may think that having a plan is unnecessary, but it's actually quite useful. What am I most proud of achieving through the personal project? I'm proud of the final product's appearance. To be honest, I couldn't even imagine what the painting would look like before I started, so I'm happy that it's look like this. And would I do differently if I started again? I would definitely make sure to meet all the deadlines. Also, I would take a photo of steps of drawing to get more evidence, but I miss it, so it's not a mistake, but it's like промах. How has my project changed me as a learner? I would like to highlight 2 points, knowledge and reflective. Through this project, I gained knowledge about what it means to be an artist and how to paint with acrylics on canvas. This has helped me to achieve my learning goal. I also learned to be reflective throughout the project as I realized how laziness can negatively affect the process. I also learned that even though it was a hobby, the project needed to be treated with a professional attitude. Well, thank you for your attention. Also, I want to say thank you to my supervisor, Anna Sergeyevna, and to my friend, Vasilisa, for supporting throughout the whole process. So, you can ask your question, but in Russian, please. Any questions?
Да, есть вопрос. Спасибо, Ангелин. Это огромная работа вообще рисовать такие красивые картины. Скажи, почему ты выбрала мифологию, да, и вот эту тематику? Это как-то близко тебе?
Ну, можно сказать и близко. Это просто исходя из моего личного интереса. Я до этого просто интересовалась древнегреческой мифологией, но это было в рамках чтения статей. И все. И когда я думала насчет своего персонального проекта, мне сначала пришла идея просто что-то нарисовать. И потом я подумала, как это можно совместить лично с моим интересом. И что бы мне хотелось увидеть, вот буквально у себя на руках. И я решила выбрать древнегреческого бога Зевса. Вот.
Ангелина, я хочу сказать тебе спасибо за твою честность, искренность и откровенность, когда ты вот рефлексию проводила. По поводу исследования. Ты сказала, что ты изучала, используя интернет-ресурсы, да, и встречалась с художником.
Да,
Можешь
художницей.
привести примеры источников и человека, с которым, или
Да.
2-3 человек?
Исследования через интернет-ресурсы. Я проводила исследования между материалами, которые лучше использовать. У меня была такая сводная таблица, где я сравнивала холсты, краски, и я думала, где лучше рисовать, ну, просто держа холст, считай, на столе, или на мольберте. И как бы то, что перевесило, то я и использовала. Это акриловые краски, это синтетический холст и мольберт. А про художницу мы с ней встречались. Я, ну, можно сказать, провела мини-интервью по переписке с ней. Я задала ей 3 вопроса, но это больше касаемо того, как она себя ощущает в роли художника, чем она рисует и где. И я у нее еще спросила, где она берет вдохновение. Мне это нужно было, чтобы как бы понять, что человек чувствует, и чтобы такая эмпатия чуть-чуть произошла. Это больше для внутреннего успокоения, наверное, было, нежели по технической части. Все. Thank you.
Angelina, that was breathtaking. Thank you very much. The next project is very non-tribal. Kostya decided to dive into business subtleties and create a business plan for the structure of the racing team.
Let's invite Kostya Krapin to the stage.
My personal project is a business plan. My supervisor is Galina Sergeyevna Shestakova. The educational goal of my project is to learn how to create a business plan in a simple and understandable way. In my case, creating a business plan for the structure of my racing team. I wanted to link the project with my favorite thing, karting, which I have been doing for several years. In order to learn how to make business plan, I can to study the theory of making a business plan, conduct interview with a person who has already implemented such a business plan, and view the costs of creating a team. Success criteria, accuracy of calculations, simplicity and clarity of the document, expert assessment of the business plan, convenient visual perception of the document. What I learned about business plan. In order to better understand business plan, I often read various articles on the internet, as well as watch useful videos on YouTube. These are links to some of the articles that I like the most. I also concluded an interview with a person who already has his own team. What should be the expense to create your team? There must be a racing experience. There are no stray businessmen here. Which specialists should be in the team? A supervisor, a telemetrist, a motorist, trainer, pilots, and a mechanic for each of the pilots. What materials, resources should there be to create a team? The budget for creating even a small team is 150,000 euros. This is all the equipments, tools, tablets, trolleys, spare parts, etc. as well as equipment for transporting all this. How many pilots should there be in the team for the team to be profitable? In a year, a team of 3-4 pilots can bring in the income of about 50,000, 100,000 euros. What would you advise yourself if you were creating your own team now? More development in technical terms and update racing equipment more often. ATL skills. With the help of ATL skills, I have learned to find the information I need better and faster in various sources and from professionals of this activity. Also, with the help of ATL skills, I was able to find all the necessary information to create a business plan. A plan form all prices for the necessary materials, etc. Structure of the business plan. In the business plan, there should be the payback period of the business sponsors, target group of consumers, profit, equipment, staff, supplies, and expenses. At the beginning of the creation of my business plan, I didn't even think that I would get a full-fledged business plan, according to which it's quite realistic to create my own racing team in the future. After creating my business plan, I became one step closer to my own team. In order to fully create my business plan, I had to find prices for all, even the smallest product, to create a team. Thank you for your attention. If you have questions, please ask in Russian.
А в каком именно... Я слышу, да? Раз, два. Так. А в каком виде именно представлен продукт твоего проекта?
Ну, я делал это в PowerPoint. Это как один лист со всеми категориями, которые я перечислил, и нужной информацией.
Спасибо большое за презентацию, Костя. Очень четкие шаги ты прописал, как ты это делал. Это было видно, как ты это прорабатывал. Спасибо. А вообще, можно увидеть этот бизнес-план твой?
Ну, я его сюда не включил, потому что на данный момент он есть, но при этом меняется цена на продукты, может поменяться наличие продуктов в тех или иных магазинах. Так что, ну, в принципе, он сделан, но он не на все время.
Скажи, пожалуйста, почему ты выбрал эту тему?
Ну, как я уже говорил в презентации, я занимаюсь картингом 7 лет. Мне очень нравится, и в 9 классе я узнал, что в 8 классе я узнал, что будет персональный проект. Ну, и я решил как бы связать школу с моим любимым делом, и как-то пришло в голову создать свою команду, что-то свое создать.
Потому что картинг, да, это твой интерес.
Да.
Но бизнес-план — это бизнес, это совсем другая категория.
Ну да, на тот момент мне тоже, ну, как сейчас, мне тоже было интересно, как бы, как создавать свой бизнес, ну, что-то связанное с бизнесом, мне было очень интересно.
Как ты думаешь, вот ты сейчас провел исследование, сделал этот проект, бизнес-план написал, ты смог бы начать бизнес по окончании школы?
Ну, как я уже говорил, могут поменяться цены, может поменяться наличие, но если составить его заново через несколько лет, когда достиг совершеннолетия, то, в принципе, это вполне возможно, мне кажется.
Thank you, Kostya, for such an original choice of topic.
And last but not least, Amir Batyrov with his 3D model for Skolkovo's website. Welcome, Amir.
Йо-йо-йо, народ, всем привет! Oh no, it's not the time, right? Okay, so my name is Amir, and my supervisor is Daria Klimenko. My project is called 3D Skolkovo. It's a virtual model of the Innovation Center, where anyone can find all the necessary information about the facilities on the ecosystem. I love Skolkovo, and its territory is full of interesting places. In most cases, only people who work or those who are studying here or who are living here know about them. I have studied several existing projects, but I haven't found any analogs to my idea. When I was at the Startup Village as a volunteer, I found that many of the guests and visitors were not well oriented in the territory of Skolkovo and couldn't fully appreciate the possibilities. According to the official website, by the end of 2023, the population of Skolkovo should exceed 5,000 people. And when the construction of new facilities is completed, it will make up to 17,000. Imagine that. I believe it is necessary not only to increase the number of facilities, but also to carry out fledged advertising and promote the ecosystem itself. For example, the site new offers general statistics on populations, but not all objects are displayed on the map in detail. Some of the objects on the map do not have active links, or there are no opening hours, no description. So my solution is to make a 3D model of Skolkovo with details and data to attract more visitors from outside and help the ecosystem develop even more rapidly. It will have a positive impact on the infrastructure and bring more profit. My learning goal is to master all the tools of the SketchUp program and use them to construct a 3D model of Skolkovo facilities. I'm interested in design and architecture, and I've been attending Bada School for a year. This project will allow me to expand my knowledge in the field of 3D modeling and design and contribute to the Skolkovo ecosystem. So my global context for my project is scientific and technical innovations, and it fully reveals my inquiry into scientific and technical innovation. It explored the world around us in terms of technological accomplishments that can be applied to make our lives better and more convenient. Here you can see me at working, if the video will work. No. Thanks. Okay, it doesn't really matter. So there is this is a 1-minute video, but it's been accelerated for 400 times. So I spent to my product for more than 100 of hours, and it's only for the product. 3D design is meticulous and really hard work, and it takes a lot of time. So in perspective, I think I will finish my product in 2 years. Here you can see the process of rendering photos and the maps. So on the top is Google Earth, Google Maps, and there's what I have done. So I've just copied it, go there, and draw it. These are programs that I have used. SketchUp, it's a program for 3D design and architectural design. For example, all the IKEA furnitures is made in it. And V-Ray, it's an add-on for SketchUp to render the models. When I was creating my product, I was guided by the success criteria that determine the quality of my product. The file itself should be functional and easy to use. I need to avoid technical failures, errors, and overlay in the map. The model should load easily, give clear information and not misinform, and should show the correct and verified locations. So the basic ATL skills that I used, it was firstly research. Find out the real dimensions of buildings and take pictures, assess dimensions, apply information literacy skills and media resources like design, drawing, and modeling. Secondly, it was thinking critically and creativity. When transferring ideas, I had to think outside the box, mastering the program that I have chosen. And last one, self-organization and time management are the key skills need to, in addition to deadlines. And they turned out to be my weakest point, I admit it. I haven't finished my product yet. I probably should have started with one object, but I always tend to dream big. So the project was a bit too huge to finish in such short period of time. I would like to pay gratitude to the people I worked with and cooperated with. My wonderful supervisor, Daria Klimenko, Albert Zabarov, my Baza School teacher, and I would like to thank Anna Permikova for attention and patience with me. Thanks. I'm ready to ask your questions, but I would prefer asking in Russian, answering.
Амир, большое спасибо за презентацию. Я увидел, что ты достаточно много работал над 3D-моделью, и еще, я так понял, не до конца ее сделал, да?
Да, все верно. Ну, то есть, как вы понимаете, в целом дизайн и 3D-моделирование, на это нужно очень много времени. Это очень кропотливая работа. Особенно я, который выбрал, что мне нужно все до мелочей, каждую детальку, каждый миллиметр, нужно, чтобы все было, как оно есть на самом деле. И в перспективе, через 2 года, это будет шикарный продукт, который можно будет продавать буквально как стартап.
Ага, спасибо. И вот у меня как раз-таки следующий вопрос. То есть ты планируешь дальше эту модель уже продавать как коммерческий продукт, чтобы люди могли как-то ориентироваться в пространстве и знать, как перемещаться, допустим, по Сколково?
Конечно.
Или какая-то другая цель была?
То есть учебная цель была все-таки применить свои навыки, которые я изучил в ходе курсов на базе. Вот Baza School, всем советую, обязательно приходите туда. Да, я, скорее всего, хочу потом продать этот продукт фонду Сколково, и у них же есть официальный сайт School City, и вот на нем как раз я бы хотел, чтобы была размещена также эта 3D-модель, и чтобы люди могли буквально, не находясь в Сколково, быть в Сколково.
Большое спасибо. Надеюсь, у тебя получится это сделать.
Спасибо большое. Вопросы?
Амир, прошу прощения, очень клевый проект, правда, очень здоровский, но вопрос, есть же аналоги вот вообще 3D-картам, насколько я знаю, то есть там тоже эффект типа полного погружения, ты перемещаешь на точку, и ты можешь осмотреться вокруг. Чем твой продукт уникален и вообще отличается от вот этих всех гугловых, яндексовых аналогов?
Он отличается тем, что Google и Яндекс.Карты, они позволяют тебе перемещаться от точки до точки. Вот. То есть фактически это просто фотографии на 360, где ты можешь, что-то там посмотреть. Есть аналоги по типу Вольтер, вот, проект, который делался буквально, там, не знаю, года 3. Вот, и этот технопарк Сколково, он используется как такое виртуальное помещение для митингов. Но мой проект более глобальный. Во-первых, он расширяет, он берет сразу всю экосистему Сколково, весь инновационный центр. А также, в отличие как раз от карт, у меня более детально. То есть ты буквально как в видеоигре, ты будешь ходить по этой сцене, и ты сможешь увидеть все, и кадры будут различаться. Вот здесь или же здесь. Понимаешь?
Спасибо большое, Эмир.
Спасибо большое за вопрос. Слушаю вас.
Вот этот вот тур ты планируешь запускать как какое-то решение именно в веб-пространстве или как какую-то программу, которая будет локально выполняться у пользователя на компьютере?
Я планирую, как я сказал, продукт, чтобы он был размещен на сайте Сколково, так что это будет онлайн-формат. Это, по сути, такой оазис, это виртуальный мир, это виртуальная локация, просто основанная на реальном месте. И люди точно так же смогут гулять по нему. Я ответил на твой вопрос? Или я не совсем его понял?
Мне кажется, не совсем понял, потому что мне было просто интересно, как думаешь, какие требования должны быть к той системе, на которой пользователь будет запускать этот продукт?
Да не слишком большие, слушай. Не знаю, сейчас в мире есть дофига видеоигр, и тем не менее миллионы пользователей по всему миру играют в них. И тут будет работать та же система. Просто если видеоигры в них играют больше дети для развлечения, то это может быть как и реальная встреча, и на самом деле даже очень продуктивно. Вот. Со всем уважением к видеоиграм.
Амир, какое твое самое главное достижение в работе над этим проектом? Личное достижение.
Личное достижение, пожалуй, будет сама организация. Вот, то, что я сумел сделать отчет. Я в целом, то есть я уже работал параллельно в этом году в этой сфере, но я никогда не писал отчеты. И вот изучение всего этого бюрократического дела было мне довольно интересно. Вот, то есть на самом деле я считаю, я сделал огромный прогресс в том, чтобы научиться заполнять отчеты. И я считаю теперь, что это правда, на самом деле важно.
Это действительно важная вещь, потому что мы знаем, наверное, много примеров ученых, изобретателей, которые делали прекрасные продукты, да, но не запатентовали, как ты говоришь, бюрократически это не описали, и в итоге они проигрывали. Поэтому тут желаю всем успехов с отчетом.
Большое всем спасибо!
Thank you, Amir. Looks like you invested a lot of time in your project.
Now, let's talk a bit about the nomination we had today. Does anyone remember which nomination are we granting today?
We hear Anya Arlova, and that's a right answer. And our question is, who do you think communicator is?
Communicator is a person who interacts with the audience, and just in general, it's a person who interacts with people and talks to them, not only about himself, but about themselves. Thank you.
That was a nice answer.
What were the nominations on previous presenting days?
That's one answer.
inquirer, and the most reflective person.
Yeah, you have a very good, very nice memory you have. How do you think, is it important to establish proper communication between people? Maybe someone else? Okay.
Can you repeat the question, please? Real quick.
Do you think it's important to establish proper communication between
Oh,
people?
yeah, sure. It's really important because without communication and proper connections with other people, it's really hard to be successful in anything. So communication is really important, guys. Make friends.
That was a nice answer too. And, okay, it's your turn.
In which careers is communication essential?
Communication is really important. It's crucial in every single career job because like there is no situation when you don't have to communicate with other people. Like it's required everywhere.
And maybe you can name one the most communicative profession you know. Stesha, that's a question for you. One special profession where communication is like the most essential. No? Yeah?
Psychologist, I don't know, theater, acting, teacher, teaching, training, a doctor.
Yeah.
Sure, there are a lot of them.
So basically professions that have to do something with people, right?
Dear jurors, are you ready? So now our jurors are ready to announce the winner of the Best Communicator title. Welcome on stage.
So, we want to thank everyone who was here today, who presented their projects. I know that it's been a lot of stress and work, and there were a lot of students who showed us their communication skills in their projects, and we want to thank you all, but we have chosen two students who impressed us the most as the most communicators. It's Varvara Kolushova and Anya Arlova.
Congratulations, girls. I'm sure you deserve this award. Let's make a nice photo of this meaningful event.
Dear friends, the third day of personal project presentation is coming to an end. And we would like to thank students, teachers, jurors, and supervisors for their total commitment and meaningful event.
The projects we saw today were awesome and reflected the creativity and effort of each student. Guys, we're very, very proud of your accomplishments and happy to see your glowing faces. Each of you has your own path, your own story, and your own goal, and we hope that your participation today in this event helped you to better estimate your abilities.
Thank you for joining us on this exciting and fulfilling 3-day trip. May each of you continue your educational journey with such much enthusiasm as you have shown here. Find inspiration and, of course, get closer to your dreams. We are grateful to our jury, administration team, personal project coordinator, teachers, and students.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.